Okay, here's my 3D printed guitar. It's black, green, and red here because I ran out of stuff, and then blue here. So used a telly neck. I cut the headstock to be similar to a telly. It was blue, so it kind of matched what blue you could see on the body. I was fine with that. It's got a regular vintage style 6 screw bridge. The neck didn't sit down as far as I wanted it to, so my option was to sand the neck, which nope, because I want to be able to use this for whatever else. Route the pocket, which is what I normally would do, but this is melty plastic, so didn't think that would be smart. So what I did was I shimmed under the bridge and lifted it up. So my shim's in the way, so you've only got 4 screws in there, but that's, who cares, that's totally fine. Bought the cheapest humbucker loaded pick guard on Amazon. Surprisingly, I don't have another strat, so I just bought something cheap just to see if it worked. If it didn't fit, I didn't want to, you know, spend $200 on a loaded pick guard, and I'm not a pickup snob anyway. I don't really care as long as it sounds good. I didn't have a Fender jack plate, which surprised me, so I did have some Les Paul style jack plates and some like telly style, so I just taped this on for now till a Fender comes in, and because I use a 90-degree cable, I'll flip it over, so it'll look even weirder. But anyway, so here it is with my, I'm playing through with Boss GT 1000, and this is kind of my standard sound. But anyway, I don't really buy into tone wood much. I won't argue with you if you do, but it's not something I think is that important, especially not to me, and not in a live mix anyway. But so it sounds like a Fender Strat with cheap pickups, because that is exactly what it is. It weighs the same as a regular Strat. I don't have one to compare it to, but it's the same as my G&L Doheny, which is like their version of the Jazzmaster. It's like the same weight as it. So I did 100% in fill on the PLA down the centerpiece, and then the rest of it is I think 50 or maybe 70%, but it's good weight. It's just like a regular guitar would be. So sustain's fine. Who's gonna hold a note out that long anyway? So and it's like I said, these are cheap pickups, but they sound pretty good live. Used it for practice the other night, and I thought it was fine. printed plastic guitar. It's a Wilkinson's bridge, like 40 bucks or so. Man, it's just normal. It pretty much works like wood when you're screwing your stuff in. I made little pilot holes for like putting my straps in. The print already had pilot holes for the bridge. I didn't use anything for the pick guard. I just drilled straight in because, you know, those screws are super tiny. And I thought, well, if it screws up a little bit, I can literally just shove a little super glue down in it and like sand over it, and you won't see it. But that's it, man. Everything was a great fit. It's not absolutely perfect. I would never want to make this and sell this version to someone. It's got a, you know, a millimeter here, there off. Like, it's not 100% perfect, but I sanded down. I was digging into my arm, just the nature of the sharp edges of the plastic. Sanded that down, but man, it's totally fine. I could gig with this. I don't feel any stability issues. Dive bomb comes up, the body doesn't creak, it doesn't feel like it's giving anywhere. It's the same as wood, really, and it's really it, man. Nothing to it. It was cool. It took 7 or 8 days to print. Took a really long time, but like I said, I did do 100% infill here, so that is maybe extreme. Some people say you don't need, you know, you don't gain anything after 80%, so I don't know if it's true or not, but I did 100 there, and I could have got away with like probably like 30% on the rest of it, because this is really what matters, just the center piece that was printed. But I did it anyway. It's not like I'm doing anything else. I got a camera set up that watches my printer, so you know, throughout the day, if there's something funky, I would see it and at least be able to call the fire department if it catches on fire or something. But that's it. It's really neat. I got it off Thingiverse and took about a week. I did all the math of everything. The neck was not exactly cheap. Well, to me, I think I paid $120 for the neck or something, but the total whole cost of everything is, I think, right around $300. And that is that's including the neck. You know, I used a donor, so it didn't really cost me that. But if I was to build this from the ground up, it would be about $300. So not cheap, but I could have cheaped out and you know, went to the pawn shop and found a guitar that had a decent neck. Take it, you know, a $50 guitar, and take the pick guard off of it, and take the, you know, you could probably build this for a minimum of your minimum is going to be like $50 worth of filament, which was kind of surprising to me. Other than that, whatever you source it with your parts, you can make it cheaper, but it's a minimum of $50 in filament and then a week of printing. So for me, for my level of skill on printing anyway, and I just have an Ender 3 version 2. Pretty simple setup. There it is. Boss sees.